Okay, so you are in Pixlr E, and you want to make sure that it says E. That's for editing. This works like Photoshop, but it's online and it's free, so we like that. First thing you're going to do is go to Create New, and I'm already clicked on it. You want to name it Layers because that's this practice assignment. It's called Layers, and put your name after it. You can just leave the width and height the same. That's fine. Um, don't make it too big or it'll kind of take up a lot of space, right? Um, I clicked on full HD and I changed 1920, 19. I just made a match. That's all. So then you hit create and it'll take a second. I'm going to get rid of this ad. That's why it's free. Okay, so hopefully you searched for some PNGs and you have a couple of images that you can work with. Um, so here's what I mean by PNG, right? I downloaded these flowers. Maybe I also want, let's say I want a frog. I'm going to go frog, PNG, transparent. That's what I want. So I'm going to click on that. I'm looking in images. So I've got, oh, I kind of like this. No, I'll do this guy. He looks like he's jumping, right? So I click on that and I am going to click on it to open it. I got a lot of stuff going on, right? And I want to save it. So it's taking a minute to open. Oh, we're spinning. Okay, it's taking a little too long, so I'm going to stop that. I'll just right click on this one and I'll save it. We'll see if that works. Sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. We're still taking a long time. Maybe if I get rid of some of these other tabs. Finally, save as, and I'm going to title it Frog. Okay. Let me get rid of some of these tabs and maybe my computer will go faster. Okay, so I'm going to go back to the photo editor, go back to ePixlr. All right, so it's easier to go to layer first. So see how I'm on layer and click on it. Go down to add image as layer. And I will look for my frog first. I just saw, where'd he go? There he is. Okay, so I'm going to grab the frog. Let's open it. And he's pretty small and he doesn't have a transparent background, but that's okay. I'll show you how to get rid of the background, right? Okay, so he's pretty small. So I stretched him out to make him bigger. Notice he's on a layer here. So the way we can get rid of, if you have a solid colored background like this one, we can go to the magic wand. See where it says wand select. And what I'm going to do is just click on the background. And notice I have what I call marching ants, right? So the marching ants means that everything that's inside of the ants is selected. That means that's what you've chosen. And so now what I can do is I can just hit my delete button, right? And it's gone. Pretty nice. So I'll keep that. That looks pretty good. To get out of the selection tool, you have to come over here to the arrange, or what we call the arrow. I just call it the arrow. And that will get you out of the selection tool. And then when you do that, go to deselect. And so now I just have a frog, right? So that's great. Okay, now I'm going to go back up to layer, because remember we're working with layers. We're going to add another image as a layer. And this one, how about will be the flowers that I picked out that is a PNG. I know it has a transparent background, so I'm going to open that. Woo! Now I have to decide, do I want the flowers on top of the frog or the frog on top of the flowers? And I think I'm going to make my flowers a little bigger, and I'm going to drag them down to the bottom there. I think I want my frog on top of the flowers. So what I do is when you look over here under navigate and you'll see there's layers, I'm going to click on my flower layer and I'm going to drag it down so that it's underneath my frog layer. Then I'm going to click on my frog layer. So now do you see you get the blue bounding box? And I'm going to move my frog over here. Okay, so now I have two layers, right? I have one on top of the other. And the next thing I want to do is I want to put in a background. Okay, and what I can do again is go back up to layer, and I already found a background that I wanted. Remember, I'm going to add images layer. The background I found was actually people walking around Bide Makaska, and I did it accidentally. There it is. Used to be called Lake Calhoun, but Calhoun was not a nice man. I have to make this quite a bit bigger, right? So that it looks like we've got some people walking around the lake. I think I'll maybe put it like that. Okay, so my idea is that in the future, and this is a silly genetic idea, but that we can make gigantic flowers and frogs that are the size of people. Why we would do that, I don't know, but it's just silly. This is ridiculous. This is something that could never happen, but I think it's kind of funny, right? Okay, so now it's kind of a mess. I can't see the people. It doesn't look like the flowers are growing out of the ground at all. So that means, remember my bottom layer here is selected. So now I can move that around. And it's still a little big, right? My frog and my flowers. So maybe what I want to do is click on my flower layer and make those a little smaller. And I want them to look bigger than the people, right? And so maybe I'll move that over here so they look like they're growing out of the ground, right? And then my frog is kind of also a little big, but I'm going to click on it. And how about I'll get it to look like it's jumping into the frame so I can spin it around a little bit. I'm going to have it maybe work like that. So I can still play around with my layers and decide, do I want the frog to look like it's behind? No, can't really see him that well then, can I? Do I want, but maybe if I move him down this way, oops, see, I forgot to. Okay, so this brings up a good point. While I'm on my flowers layer, click on the three little dots. I'll double click to open it, and we're gonna lock that. That's so I don't accidentally move it around like I just did, right? So if I lock my layer, it's good to go. Click on my frog. Maybe I'll make him a tiny bit smaller. I'll bring him down here like he's jumping. No, actually, you know what? Maybe we'll bring him way up here. And notice while this is highlighted and I'm on the arrow, when I come up here, there are all these things that I can do. Like, look, I can flip it horizontally, right? So I can make it look like he's jumping. He's kind of attacking these people. Yeah. I can flip it this way. So it looks like he's clinging to the top. No, that doesn't really work. I'll flip it back this way. Whoops, now I'm all messed up. There we go. It's back where I wanted them. I can rotate them, but I could also use this little handle to rotate, right? So now we have this giant frog kind of jumping on these people, and maybe I do like him on top of the flowers. Yeah. Okay, so now what I can do is I can go back into this 3-dot thing, and we're going to flatten. What that means is we just merged all of these things together, right? And I can't separate them anymore. Now it's all one image. So notice when I click on something, nothing moves, nothing changes. I just made it all one image. Okay. That should be it. So then we're going to go up to File, and we're going to save it as a JPEG. Let's save it as a JPEG. It's giving me this white background, but that's okay. This is just practice, just so you can learn how to use layers and a couple other tools quickly. We're going to make it a medium quality. We're going to download it. And then I can turn it in to Google Classroom. Okay, so now I can close this. And when I open my JPEG, oh, it's not, my computer's going slow. Anyway, it's saved as a JPEG. It should be in your downloads folder. This is what you will turn into Google Classroom. Now you can use humor, you can make it serious, kind of think about what you're learning in genetics. This could be about gaming, it could be about dinosaurs, it could be about animals. It doesn't matter. We're just learning how to use layers and to merge them down into one picture. Okay, have fun.